Go back to the most painful or emotionally challenging moment or period you had as a boy. What would you say to that boy now, speaking directly to him to help him through that experience?
Hey, Mark. So, I know things are tough. You won't be aware of what lies ahead, and you're probably only thinking of one thing. Please tell me how my future is. Please tell me how my future is. You're probably just wondering that. Because why else would I be contacting you if not to give you some words of advice, you know, things to go towards and things to go away from, pieces of advice to help you get through these tough times and help you go towards the things that are really going to be healthy for you and really help your growth, your self-development. Well, I don't have all the answers. See, here's the thing. You're going to learn so much. You're going to learn an incredible amount. And I don't think it's possible for you to not leverage your natural curiosity and your tendencies towards fun and joy and laughter. I think you're going to always have that character. Now, whatever choices you make, I mean, I'm talking to a past self, but here's the thing. Life isn't linear. You're going to learn all about like multiverse theories that permeate our films these days, especially in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They open the mind to what's possible. And when you start to do that, then you actually enter in lots of observational abilities. Then you actually discover truths. You discover things that connect everything and make more sense of the world. Give us a higher degree of understanding and therefore a higher degree of control. Right? That's what we all do. We just manifest things. We're all just aspects of creation, and we are just perpetuating the act of creation. We're just trying to make our worlds. So in doing so, we have to venture inward and we have to understand ourselves, because our inner world is so much more meaningful to us, but we neglect it. Point blank. We are so headstrong to go outwardly and to chase the external, the superficial, right? The latest trends, money, fame, success, all of this stuff. It can come from a deeper yearning to succeed and to prove people wrong, or to prove yourself right, or to just create a much healthier way of life, one that is hopefully easier and more fruitful. So if you have lots of money or lots of time or lots of freedom, I mean, if you have all three of those things, that's awesome. And I really want that for myself, even now. And I want that for you even more. So, spoiler alert, I haven't succeeded to my heart's content. I have dwindled. I have let time slip by. And I do have regret of the time lost, but that can never be recovered for me. So there's like two things. I'm also currently this is just an act. It's just an act. It's just a practice of vocalizing things, thoughts that you never really want to think about. But here we are. I was proposed a question. Well, not I directly, but I came upon a question of a practice that I can do. I can ask myself, what do you think about this? What would you do if this? So, yeah, I'm talking to my past self, right? A representation of a younger version of me. So it will ring true to those coming up behind me who are young and share the same kind of characteristics, or who have somehow followed my story. I don't know. The future me might find out that this will be like fascinating memoirs of an international like superstar or something. I don't know. But this practice is about talking to my past me and people like me, people who relate to my struggles and to my successes. I think maybe in future notes I will put more focus onto these similar kind of exercises towards praising and like elating in my successes and my blessings, my natural traits that I love about myself. I want to get into those practices as well, because I know that there needs to be a multi-pronged approach into all of these issues. If we see obstacles, we also must try and look for solutions. If we see negative traits inside us, we must also look for the positive and beautiful. So, yin yang, baby. Anyway, you might not resonate that much about what I'm saying now, but you will. And I know I'm not making much sense. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry, but this is the stage I'm at now. This is uncharted territory for me, and I'm trying. This is on the fly communication, as if I'm live speaking to you, except you can't talk. So this is just a recording. It's a live recording. I can't edit it. All right, this is just how it is. But I thank you for continuing to listen to my bullshit. Now, tips. Okay, I might write down some tips later on and share them with you at another point, because my mind can't think straight right now. This was spontaneous. Okay, sorry, but just know that everything's gonna be good. It's gonna be fine. Just don't shit yourself. No, I'm playing. Okay. So, stick with the funnies. Okay, that's gonna get you through stuff. It's gonna help you in a lot of ways, and I don't even know yet. Stick to the funny side of life. Stick to stick to following your intuitions. I mean, this world is a polarizing world. It's good and bad, all that stuff, in and out. Stick to the positive side of every one of those scales. I know it's easy to say, but it starts with just being aware. Everything starts with just being more aware. So if I was to give you one tip in life, really, is just pay more focus on like being self-aware. So that can be absolutely anything. Do you know what I'm saying? Just be aware. And be humble. Everything is. Okay? When anything is, it just is. There is no denying the isness of everything. That's part of what being present is about. It's the power of everything that exists right now. And you can't deny it. And you can either just completely ignore and take for granted all of this beautiful presence that we have, because the past doesn't exist. And I know it's contradictory, right? But it doesn't really. They're just different. Like it's like a multiverse. It's like multi-timeline. It's in that kind of like incomprehensible way of thinking. But in every one of your moments, the past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. They are tools to help us project ourselves either in the future or the past. But life really isn't linear. Our choices allow us to go and explore different flavors and different variations. I mean, there are theories about free will and actual destiny, and everything's preordained and pre-programmed, and genetics and all that shit. I don't care about that. That's another epic saga that's, always going on in sciences, right? And philosophy and all that stuff. But it's more important to find out your truths from your observations, right? And the more that you attune them to what is, you base everything on just what is around you. You see more truth, because there isn't anything more undeniable than what is. And if you can put a name to it and put an understanding to it, be able to communicate it, the isness of whatever you're addressing carries on, and you're able to help keep it what it... Oh, I'm just blethering. I forgot I'm talking to a younger version of me. Now, depending on how old I was, I would be completely disenchanted, to put it lightly. I might not even appreciate the kind of language and the kind of words that I'm using, depending on how old I was. This is more about me selfishly so far, because I've been put on the spot to make a message, and this is very unfamiliar territory, right? So I apologize. I can probably just choose to delete it later on, but I'm trying to just hit record and keep everything as is, unedited, raw, genuine, is a stream of bullshit consciousness, but truthful nonetheless. Don't hit pause. You're going to be fine. Your choices are important. and what people say about time not being as long as you had thought, or probably choose to not even bother thinking about. They're right, like they're true. There's a lot of truth to a lot of these sayings and pearls of wisdom, life tips. Wisdom is only as useful as its application rather. In this world, we still have to manifest. We still have to do things, achieve things, make things happen. Otherwise, what's the point? Because we live in this physical state. We have to do things. We should be called human doings. Because human beings, we hardly ever do. That's another epic saga that we're trying to journey down now. The path of just being. Emancipation from this, like, world of mass. I don't know what is a prominent compass apart from the cliches of love and passion and openness. They're all still true. I don't know how to promote them. But I think every decent individual knows them to be true. Just let them echo. Let those words and those characteristics echo throughout your very existence. And let that shape you. Let that help guide your decisions and your choices. Everyone's experience is absolutely bespoke to them. And you can have anything, but you can't have everything. So choose and direct like a laser beam. Because the tendency of having the whole world in your palm, all the choices, it can be absolutely crippling. And I think this is something that a too significant portion of our civilization is struggling with this yearning of wanting to be great, wanting to do amazing things and become amazing. And I think part of that struggle is just self-developed within. And I don't think it's an objective, shared goal for everyone. Not really. Not if you overcome what's created that within you and then permeated into society itself. The obligations and the expectations that we place upon ourselves is still so great and heavy. And it needn't be. I think the path of individual introspection and wanting to improve yourself is something that if a significant portion of us all do for ourselves, which is so key, no shame, only encouragement and support and openness to do so, freedom. If we all do that, then as a society, we will flip the script and we'll switch into allowing new paradigm shifts to happen. New shifts in consciousness, of awareness, degrees of understanding ourselves and therefore understanding how best to make choices for our society, individual and multi levels. And that all really just comes from the journey inward. Because first we must recognize before we act. But don't let that journey stop you from the acting. they must be done simultaneously. You can't spend your life in your head. That will be your paradise and your prison. It will be so self-indulgent to stay in your head, because it's not yet. It's a trap. It's a trap. If we were just a brain in a jar, then yeah, that's your prison and paradise. But it doesn't matter, because the like, what's a brain gonna do? You know? But we've got these amazing bodies. We've all got them. And we can do amazing things. A lot of us will drop off in our abilities, our physical abilities, and will bolster our mental prowess. And a lot of us will master social interrelationships. We will understand the intricacies of society's behaviors. Some of us would only just want to please others. Some of us would only want to just disappear because they don't want the attention, because they're inside their head and it's driving them crazy, and other people drive them crazy. There are a rainbow of different characters, different experiences. You have no idea. But it's a zoo. I mean, you can't get more technicolor than that. It's just like marvelous how all these different fascinating people. And I guess maybe that's my curiosity and appreciation of things, of truths, of understandings. That's maybe a trait that not everyone shares, right? Fair enough. This is my ramblings, right? You make your own, and you put forward what are your natural inclinations and your strengths and your passions. I think I share a high level of curiosity and interest. I share that with that Chris Williamson. And a lot of other high achievers, but I don't seem to have had that winning formula. I'm sorry this is a long message. You know, this is all fake. I'm not actually talking to my past self. I don't believe that to be the case right now, but hey, what do I know, right? But whatever. You're gonna be fine. Just don't be a dick and live life peacefully.